Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and welcome back to another episode of the Stanley Parable. Now, I'm starting off a little bit earlier this time, because I want to see what happens if I set it to my favorite time. Because the narrator said that I could. And so the time is going to be 1 of the PMs, and you know exactly what I'm doing here. You know exactly what's going on here. That's the weed time. 4:20 p.m., your favorite time of day. Or could you simply not resist giving me the correct time again? After all, I know how much you enjoy setting the time correctly. I'm curious, how accurate... Okay, now I'm curious how accurate 420 is. Let's use another slider to find out. Let's see here, it's 450, so I'd say slightly inaccurate? I feel like I'm learning more about you and how you like things to be set. It's good data to collect. I wish we had more sliders, but we've gone through all the sliders I have. Perhaps I can invent some new sliders to gather new data on you. Shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, let me whip up a couple new ones. Should be ready by next time you boot up the game. Okay. That's weird. Yes, 4:20, the best time of day. Alright. Now I'm thinking this time we're going to try to get... Let's try to get the escape ending. You know, go to the mind control facility, but turn left and go down the escape way. Yeah, I think we'll get that one first. And we might go and get the Stanley's figure stands.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
We're gonna skip it. We sat through it the other times.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
It's always fun. The adventure bucket. Our acceptance bucket. The best item in the entire game. So we're going to go left.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
And this way. And this way. Also, I might try to record Sea of Thieves again one day. Stanley Lorene's. Yeah, listen to the last one is in the
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yep, we're gonna walk upstairs to the boss's office.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Correct.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Yeah. This is some very common New Age music.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Yep, this is definitely an open passageway. Now we go down. Can I go back up? What happens if I go back up?
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
I don't care.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
I know I have every opportunity.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
If you confront it, you can't do anything. Down the pit. That was fun. Very nice.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Okay. ¿Qué pasa?
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Okay.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Okay.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit
Here's
start?
Stanley's office, then you go there. And there's the two doors. Buttons. Where's the gem button? This is weird. Let's see, what's through here? Is the reassurance bucket here? Warzone. Early development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpret it as making fun of people who like shooters, which is not our intention. I played the heck out of that. Let's see here. What's this? Something about capybaras. I don't think it features capybaras. The lounge. The office. Ooh. Cargo lift. This is what original look like? Huh. so there's a vent. Okay, let me figure out how to get out of this ending. Descending model. There's the elevator. Freedom ending. So that's the boss's office, and I feel like we got lost.
Textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you'd pick up on intuitively if you had even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad game design. But of course, you being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Here, I'm just going to make this easy on you.
Oh, narrator outtakes. Let's try and get back to the rest of the game. So this is the starting room, which means that I took a wrong turn somewheres. So I gotta go this way, and then up, and I just keep going, I guess. Well, that's Stanley's office. There it is.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Huh.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
I can't see.
No,
Everything's
perhaps not.
dark.
Sometimes these things
anything.
cannot be seen. But listen to
full
me.
of
You
terror.
can still save those two.
No.
You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game.
No.
As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time
You won't
choose
do
for
it.
you. Don't let...
Oh, they did it. My efforts have failed. If only we had the adventure music, we would have been perfectly fine. Okay, now let's see what happens if I
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
go to
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
place
simply missed a memo.
and not jump off the cargo lift.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Sammy.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No. We're going this way.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
Now, if
I realize that
these,
investing
then
your
I
trust in someone else can be
have to
difficult,
drop
but the
out.
fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To...
Okay. Hello, baby. Hmm. 427.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha! Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Okay.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Okay.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Okay.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Okay.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations.
Now an office.
Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Okay. Nothing's happening. I can't help myself.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried...
I have died of button pushing. Very noble way to go. Alright, now let's go get that Stanley.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
We're gonna take
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
I love your bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Yes, it is.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
We're gonna
Stanley
jump
took
off
the door on his
platform
left
moves
to go
across a
back
massive
to the
dip
meeting
down.
room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good,
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Sorry,
Stanley
bucket.
did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he
sorry, bucket.
unthinkingly
Go
did
this way.
whatever the bucket asked.
Oh wait, I feel like we did this before, didn't we? Ah, God, I've ruined it. Oh, we already got that ending. We're just gonna begin the game again and not pick up the bucket. Because I'm an idiot.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it
Off
mean?
cue.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Off. Off. Now we gotta go and get back to there and not bring the bucket.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Stanley ignored the narrator.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
To allow him to collect some paper.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why,
Yes.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
There it is.
Look, let me prove it. And there it is. The last
Stiggly.
Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Okay.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Okay.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you
I'm
see
pretty
that
sure
I
all the way
really
leads to
have
the
wanted
very
you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I want it to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped.
There's 2-door here.
And I think I have a solution.
I know.
Here, let me show you.
Aha. Wait a minute. Death pit?
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
I feel happy too, man. This feels like that bit from Finding Nemo when they find the anglerfish. They're like, I think it makes me feel happy. Whoa. Okay, this is cool. But, sorry, narrator.
No, wait. Where are you going?
Arkansas.
Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Screw you.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
Sorry, narrator.
Please, Stanley.
It's gotta be done.
Oh, thank God. You lived. No. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Because you're trying to control people.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
Fine, we'll go back for one moment.
Yes.
No.
Perhaps you can. Perhaps you finally see what I'm talking about.
We're going back upstairs. Because screw the
My
narrator.
God. Is this really how much you dislike my game?
I wanna go back to
That
playing
you'll
Rocket
throw
League with
yourself
18
from this
balls.
platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Different reason, but yeah.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get
So
along.
sad.
But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
Okay. Let's see. Corkscrew.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
That was funny. Sad but funny. Just like the class clown. Okay. Let's see if we can go back down, or back up to the elevator.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines, those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with
I've been
inner
tricked.
richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story,
I thought
but
we
would you
worked
please
Looney Tunes.
indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Okay, we'll go back to the memory zone. Okay, I like the memory zone. Memory zone's always cool. Downstairs leads to the memories. Sorry about that. Now, allow us to continue forward.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain?
Because 6
We were
is
so
6.
innocent. We'll never be like that again,
Click
Stanley.
again. 7.
And here was the second Stanley. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest.
Stanley's
Back
an
then, I
empire.
had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Let's see. Warehouse, boss's office.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
This one.
No. The warehouse was the 4th place you found a Stanley, not the 3rd. Well, I guess perhaps I shouldn't be surprised. Memories like these are so precious and so cherished that they all just sort of blend together, don't they?
We're going to
You know
collect all
what?
these
If the
very
warehouse
quickly.
feels like the 3rd place you found a collectible, then who am I to go making judgments?
Okay, now we continue on until we find the rest of them.
Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
I don't remember this either. I remember nothing. Life is a lie. Everything is dead.
This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was under the stairs. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
God. By the narrator. Great. Stand by. Oh, it looks so impressed. He's having job pushing cans. Understands.
Takes you back, doesn't it?
That was
I spent a lot
terrible.
of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
I spend longer than 8 minutes making most of my videos. Most. Unless I really need to go fast. And then the last one.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment
go
where
the
you
wrong
picked
way?
up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
We're gonna go the wrong way.
And then
Whoa.
there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone.
Goodbye, memory zone. Okay, we'll try to get one more ending.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go
Probably.
backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how
Okay.
that feels.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must
Wait.
say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going, I want more.
Yeah,
And
we'll click
here's
on
where
it.
I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
I don't want to take it. No! No!
Yes, I love that video.
You're gonna watch it, you're gonna like it. And then there's the pink room.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. It's got a big pink apple. And there's the vent.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation.
Stanley
Next
Wang-
one.
I don't know. The Stanley Lanes, minifigs, whatever. I'll go this way. It appears to be blacked out, so we can't go that way. And then the executive bathroom.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going. This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the Figlarines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Holy crap, it's the jump circle, it's back!
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more.
I can't use
more memories.
I can't use jump circle. I like the jump circle. That's the best part of the new content.
Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
Yeah, welcome to the same place.
And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember. Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy. And I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play
Stanley's
with.
the best character ever.
You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good.
What?
I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Let's see here. Was probably the best ending to get.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
It's simply the best option. Let's go.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to it. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yep.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
That's pretty quick. Down. Back up right after we get down there. That simply is the best choice for the future.
Whoops. Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
Going back to the office. I'm honestly quite curious.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Is there anything I can do? Maybe if I put in the wrong code? Let's see here. 11111. 1112. 11113. So maybe if I go back this way. And go to here. Okay, I can send the elevator down without being in it.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
What if I go back up?
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
Yeah, we'll discover something else. It's gonna be a picture of the narrator. Hang out with Chuck Norris. Playing Super Mario Bros.
Oh my God. It's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this. Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No! No, wait! No! I need more time to process.
This is great. Love this. Please hold. Are we done
All
holding?
right. I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
Thank you. We're gonna do it again. But still nothing there.
Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
Guess what, guys? We're doing it again.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow?
Yeah.
There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises? To have to think and to anticipate and then to marvel at the eventual reveal. This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years. And it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley, because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you, which is why... Oh, I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh, good, we're here. Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
Live, the guy who went to Mars. Stanley, live on stage, Stanley.
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door.
World's first sentient machines.
All right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry, you'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley.
Alrighty.
Okay, it looks like they're ready for you. Go get 'em.
Well, that's gonna be it for this video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you want to see. I'm gonna be starting Evil Dead here on Friday when it releases, and well, have a good one. Adios.